Yeah, there's a lazy kid. All right, you guys know, unless it's a new build or a new move-in or, you know, where you've redone something completely so the room was cleaned out, then you can do a job, right? Do a project, whatever you plan to do, because the room is empty. From this shelf down is going to be my, turn it down, it's going to be my storage for my quilts. That means that big speaker, that printer, all that stuff has to go somewhere. So it's like I can't even get started on the actual project till I find a home for this stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking my printer, and don't look. I folded clothes last night. They're all right there. They need to be put away. It's just a mess. And then the kitchen's a little bit of a mess. Levi, please. I'm thinking I can set the printer right over there. But that means that stuff gets reworked. So I have, years ago, well, it's out in the camper right now. It's a little writing desk is what it is. Just a flat desk, 4 legs. The legs are sort of turned, really, really pretty turned legs. Had one little center drawer that you would put paper and pens in. Real simple little desk. I had it right there for a long time. But I needed to put a lamp on it. And, you know, I like to sort of up the game a little bit. So I built just one little single little hutch. The back so stuff couldn't fall through. I think I drilled a hole for cords to go through if I needed to. It's out in the camper right now too. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go get it and see if it will fit on that. And if it will fit on that without me having to if it won't fit on that without me having to rework it, and I may just take my tape measure out. That's why I'm going to take my tape measure what I've got there and see if it will work. If it will not work, then I know that I have the material in the shed to build a little hutch on that. And then that can all, like the lamp can move up. The lamp, I love the lamp. It's a very, very old antique lamp. I want it to sit over here. Because I know when I put the hutch in, the lamp is going to be way up here and it's going to block the air conditioner. But I can put it on this side where this is opened, you know, where there's more room over here. Anyway, that's where I'm hoping the printer will sit. So I'm going to do that first. Then I'm going to find all this stuff, other stuff, a home that's in this cabinet behind me. Then I can start on that. And that means just putting a frame all the way around it, because right now it's just the raw 1x. Put a frame around it. Screw the door to it. Clean the door because it is dirty from being out in the shop. And then stack I'll have to pull it away from the wall because 1, 2, 3 shelves actually come out to, I don't think I want to leave the shelf. First I have to probably get 2 quilts on the bottom, leave the shelf, then another quilt there and another couple of quilts in between that one, another couple of quilts. I could leave the shelves that way if I ever want to use it for something else, I can. I don't know. I have to think about that for a minute. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to get started on that first and get the printer moved over there. And then anyway, so I will show y'all as I go how and it's going to end up looking when I'm done. All right. And then I'm going to clean the kitchen because I want y'all to see that again. All right, I really got this place tore up now. All right, so I took the back, all the stuff off. And then if y'all remember, okay, I had to put, I'll go back to a beginning story of this. This was in pieces. And when I say pieces, I mean it was in pieces in, well, to go through who it was at, but when Brooke is a little girl that lives with my cousin Debbie. When her grandpa sold his pharmacy in Cleveland, and he slowly was selling stuff out of it. You know, the shelves and just, you know, selling stuff out of it. He had this in his office because he is a piddler too. He sort of piddles around with projects. He said he picked it up in pieces somewhere. I don't know where he picked it up at, but he said he picked it up in pieces just like I was taking it. And he said, but he got so busy, he never got to put it back together. So I brought it home in the back of my car, and there was like pieces that I was able to copy from. Like, this is an original side. This is a side I made myself. I just took this side and traced out a board and cut this out. And so I had two matching sides. These were back here. Like this. These are, I knew that there was something back here. One was here, but it was split, like right here. So it was broke, but it was with everything. So I was able to take that and sort of make a template of what I thought it probably looked like. And I got this one and this one. So right now they've been taken off. I just had them in with, you know, a screw on the back and the side. So it's easy enough to, if I ever want to, well, this one went over here. If I ever wanted to put them back, I could put them back real easy. But, so these are off now. And I put this whole thing back together, and it was all this dark wood like this. But I went ahead and painted this out white, kept the knobs brown. The back legs are completely off right now because when you pull it out, I tried to glue them, but the hole was worn out so big, and it's got a really fat like button that goes up into the hole in the bottom of the dresser. But that hole was worn out so big that even glue wasn't holding them in. But when it's against the wall, it doesn't move. So I put the legs in and slide it back, and it sits good. But I had to move it away from the wall to unscrew those little brackets that were right there. So now it's open. It's dusty. Look how dusty it is. Look at this. Is ridiculous. This is because I don't dust. Look at that. It's pathetic, and I'm embarrassed, but I'm sort of embarrassed. I hate the dust. Anyway, so out in the shop, and I'll show y'all that one second. All right, so this was the original back, although it's upside down because you can see the two holes I had on both ends for plugs that went through when it was on the little writing bench. This is a top right here. I'm gonna sand it a little bit and give it some lightness to the edges, you know, just to look worn. I cut there are the two sides right there, but I cut two new sides. I wonder who that is going up there in that vehicle. I've never seen that vehicle before. I don't know, somebody's going up Mom and Dad's driveway. So right now, these are paint. I've got the fan out here, and I'm drying them. So I can still see a gloss, so I know they're still wet. And I'm going to flip them over and paint the other side because both sides of the arms or the legs of this shelf will show. But it was all dark because the writing bench that I had was dark. It was actually a mahogany. It's a red color, dark. But this I just had like it was a walnut color. It's these right here. See how dark they are? They're just walnut. But I went ahead and cut new ones so they'd take a paint easy. And now it's all linked up here drying. And as soon as it gets dry enough that I can flip it, this is done. I probably won't do this because it's in the back there. You won't hardly see it. But you will be able to see that there's beadboard back there. But it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, some of that dark that's shining through, I actually sort of like that. But anyway, I want the arms to be done. I keep saying arms or legs. I want them to be done a little bit better. So I'm going to flip them and paint them. And then I can touch them up when they're completely dry on both sides. So I'm waiting for that to happen. And then I will put that back together. And I will sit it on that, put that back into where it goes. I will sit this on top. And then I can put the printer over there rearrange my winter snowmen some way or another, however it looks best with this new shelf on top. And then I can concentrate on the cabinet that I'm actually wanting to work on. But I had, you know, like I said earlier, you got to do something over here before you can get something over here done. So, all right, this is where I'm at right now, waiting for paint to dry. You know that saying, it's like waiting for paint to dry. I'm really waiting for paint to dry. All right, I got them flipped, and now I've painted this side. That is almost dry, and I'm not doing anything else to it. But this has to dry on this side now. And then I'll be able to put it all together and put that cabinet back in place and plug the printer in and get it all set up so that side of the room of the house will be done. And then tomorrow I will start focusing on getting that cabinet for my quilts built. All right, I'll see y'all. As soon as I get all this dry and put together, I'll show y'all that little section of the room. Or maybe I should leave it for the reveal at the end. I don't know. I have to think about it. Okay. Well, I'm at an angle, so it's hard for you to really see. I haven't screwed anything together yet. I'm ready to attach the back, the beadboard back to the legs. You can see the two little holes from when it was the other, you know, it was used for something else. But I put a bigger hole in this corner down here because there is a hole in the wood behind it where the plug to the lamp went out. I'd put a hole, and so I had to match it up. So there's a big hole and there's two little holes, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. You're not going to be able to see too much underneath there once the top gets put on. But that's where I'm at so far right now. I'm fixing to screw the backs in this corner and in that corner, and then maybe a little bit lower down here. And then the back will be attached to the legs, and then I'll hook the top to the legs. So give me 1 second. All right, there it is. There's the lamp up there. And you can easily get paper in and out of the printer. It's not hard at all. I mean, you would think maybe that's not tall enough, but it is. It's perfectly tall enough. I'm extremely happy. I'm like really, really happy with the way it looks. Sometimes, you know, just rearranging your house gives you this freshness, like, oh, that's so much better than it was. And months later, you may put it back the way it was originally and think it looks so much better that way. But this looks good. I mean, I was afraid that I was gonna have to go ahead and put some of the snowmen away, and, you know, maybe lots of people are thinking I should. I just really like to keep the house festive as long as I can before it goes to, and I'm not saying my summer house doesn't, summer and spring and all that doesn't look pretty. I'm just saying I love snowmen and I love winter. My gosh, I sound like a crazy person. I think I'm tired. Anyway, the printer fit perfectly there. There was nowhere in the living room for it to go. I mean, if it wasn't over there in that corner, there was nowhere else for it to go. So this was just about the only thing that I could have done, and it looks good here. Everything looks good. The light just fits up there in that corner right there perfectly. It just looks like it was made for to go right there. It's got that little, you know, it's like in its own little pocket right there. I did put screws like over here on these sides right here, the side of the shelf of the original top. I put a screw through each side into the white so that shelf can't move, it can't fall off. I don't know, I'm just really happy with the way it turned out. Now I just got to clean my kitchen and clean up after dinner. We had a good chicken on wraps, and instead of putting the lettuce on the wraps like normal, just little pieces of lettuce, because Levi will dump it out. He will dump all the lettuce out. He'll eat lettuce in a salad all day long. But if it's on a wrap, because it's bulky and it makes it like, I don't know, hard to fold, I don't know what his problem is with it, he'll scrape all the lettuce out and just eat the wrap wrapped around the chicken, which is fine. But I want him to have those greens. So I took the food processor and ground up the lettuce into little bitty pieces like you were going to make some kind of pecani sauce or something, pico de gallo or something. I mean, something where you would grind up that stuff really small. And then he ate every bite. So I was really happy about that. All right, so this is this side of the room. And tomorrow I will start working on that side and then get this video out to you guys. Just doesn't take much to just change the way something looks. I think that looks adorable. And I'm glad that I changed it out and made these all white instead of, I mean, originally it was just that big. I mean, I didn't change the size or anything. I just didn't use the same legs, but they're the same size leg. I just, whatever that length leg was, 11 1/4, that's what I cut those legs to be, these legs. They're the exact same size as the other ones. I just didn't want to use the dark. I thought since the body of this cabinet is white and the top is walnut, then I thought the hutch part should be white with the top walnut. And so it didn't put this big dark blob on top of the dark top of the cabinet. You know what I mean? It just brightened it up. It brightened that little corner up, I feel like. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's pretty and I like it and I'm happy with it and I'm in love with it. So I'm gonna get this other video started tomorrow for y'all and get it out to you. All right, love you guys.